Now let's return to the London terror attack at the weekend, in which 7 people died and dozens were injured. The identities of all 3 perpetrators are now known. One man has been named as Youssef Zaghba, a 22-year-old Moroccan-Italian man. Media reports in Italy say he was stopped in Bologna last year when he attempted to travel to Syria. It says the Italian authorities tipped off the UK about his movements. His identity was revealed after Scotland Yard defended its decision to downgrade an inquiry in 2016 into one of the other attackers, 27-year-old Khurram Butt. They also say there was no evidence at the time to suggest he was planning an attack. The third person responsible for the attack was 30-year-old Rashid Radouin from Barking. Well, Olivier Guita is a security expert and managing director at Global Strat and joins us now. 2 of them then known to security services. Many questions presumably to be answered here.
Yes, what I find baffling is that the British security services have said that the third terrorist that we found out about today, the Moroccan-Italian national, was not on their radar, while the Italians claim that they've warned the UK. So I'm concerned about that lack of cooperation or coordination, or that mess up that happened. I think in the larger scheme of things, the fact that one of the perpetrators, but was on the radar of security services, do not allow any of us to criticize the security services on that, because of the fact that there are 3,000 potential jihadists on their radar, and they cannot follow everyone, so they have to make choices. I mean, we've seen in the past with other countries, especially France, that they had people on their radar, that they monitored them, tracked them down for 24 hours, and after 6 months they gave up their investigation because nothing came out of it. So except if you have an actual lead on someone, a tip of someone on that list that is going to perpetrate an attack, it's virtually impossible for security services to just guess that is on the verge of attacking.
So what should we be doing?
We should go back to basics and try to build a network of informers within those different cells. So that has been done in other countries, but that has been given up by the UK and the US in the past 15 years because they focused so much on electronic intelligence rather than human intelligence. And the only way that we're going to be able to stop an attack is that either they'll have somebody within the cell or somebody close to the jihadist that will call up and give information to security services before they strike.
This is the first time, isn't it, that Moroccans have carried out terror attacks in the UK. Does that tell us that this is another part of the world we should be very worried about?
Actually, you are correct. So in the last 2 attacks, both Manchester and London, it's the first time a Libyan and the first time 2 Moroccans took part in attacks. I think that what we're seeing is obviously a globalization of terror, and usually Moroccans, as we've seen unfortunately in the past, have carried out attacks in both France and Belgium. That could be a way for them, if they go to other countries where they're not expected, or they're really laying low, because we think that one of the perpetrators was a sleeper agent, and that's why he wasn't really on the radar of services. That's a tactic that jihadists will start using. And in particular, Islamic State had called for their followers specifically to perpetrate attacks in neighboring countries rather than their home country.
Olivier, thank you very much for speaking to a security expert and managing director at Global Strat.